age groups are you attracted to?
I would say it probably starts about 3, 4 years old, and then goes up into early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and it kind of peaks at about, like, I'm campaigning for better treatment of people like me. You know, we're non-offending pedophiles. Not all pedophiles are child molesters, and not all child molesters are pedophiles. Pedophile is, strictly speaking, is just somebody who has the sexual attraction to children. They may act on it, they may not. Pedophiles come from all walks of life. We come from all sorts of economic backgrounds, different occupations, and we look like everybody else.
Why do I think I'm a pedophile? Well, I don't think it's really a choice, because I think you are born like that. But on the other hand, I think a lot of people have those feelings and they don't accept them, they suppress them.
From a virtuous pedophile, they're thinking, you know, this is who I am, so it's okay to watch, but I would just never touch a child.
That is just like, you know, going up to that forbidden tree and, well, I just want to touch it. You know, it's like a gateway drug. Happen. You know, right. It's like if you allow this, or maybe another step, you know, they're just going to crave the real thing. Well, I really want the real thing, you know.
Okay, so Snapchat has this filter, love has no gender, sexuality, disability, religion, and age. Why is age an option? I heard pedophiles were trying to get into the LGBTQ community, but did it happen? What do you mean love has no age?
And here's a classic example. So we heard 10, 15 years ago when the whole gay marriage movement was ramping up, we heard that we had to allow gay marriage, homosexual marriage, because gender is, sexual preference is biological, right? No one's born that way. No one has a choice, I should say. It's chemical, it's a brain thing. Now, of course, now gay marriage is legitimized. You never hear them talk about that anymore, because if you talked about the idea that for something to be serious or to be taken serious and legitimate, it has to have a biological origin, that would not include transgenderism. So now, conveniently, when it comes to male or female, the science doesn't matter anymore. And taking it to the farthest extreme here. So you've got actual advocates now, and they've always been around. Remember NAMBLA in the 1980s and 90s, the National Man-Boy Love Association? Now you've got so-called academics making the argument of all ages. What they're doing here is not necessarily trying to argue it's okay for adult men to have sex with little kids. What they're getting around about here is the idea that little children as young as 5 and 6 years old, younger, should be able to have sex with whoever they want. If in their own childlike ways they don't resist the sex or don't vocalize some kind of a stop, then this should be allowed too. Why are we taking away from 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds their right to sexual control of their own bodies? That's why we're teaching 5 and 4 and 6-year-olds in preschool, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. We're introducing highly sexualized topics into their elementary school classes now. What we're really after here is autonomizing sex for little kids.
He is sexually attracted to little girls.
time you see them on television, they're either murderers, rapists, or kidnappers. And, you know, that's just not an accurate presentation of the that particular sexuality. It's not.
Question: should pedophiles be extended some measure of sympathy? Are we doing enough to identify and help pedophiles? Doctor, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
I want to ask you something, and I know people are going to probably send me a lot of hate mail for this. I've never been one to take glee in anyone's demise, and when I saw Jerry Sandusky walk out in handcuffs, I did kind of feel a bit sorry for him, even though I know the jury found him to do some horrific things. I was like, you know, his life is over, all of these.
Some drag you might see are boys dressing up as girls and girls dressing up as boys. These are called drag queens and drag kings.
You can't tell right now, but I'm actually a drag queen.
What?
Yeah, give me 1 second and I'll introduce you to Mr. Hi, Teddy. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi!
Mr.
Yeah, Teddy.
Lindsay told me you're...
If you think it's something you might
Yep,
want.
I think we've covered it, Riley.
I think so.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Grown-ups, don't forget to check out Riley's channel. She has tons of super informative videos about the LGBTQ plus community, current events, pop culture, and even some kids media thrown in there. Don't forget to subscribe.
Something else caught my attention. A video uploaded by Lindsay on an old channel they no longer use. I want to break this old video down and expose why this is so shocking and worrisome coming from Lindsay, the person who teaches children about LGBT issues and sex. On an old channel, Lindsay uploaded this video in 2015. Are all kids queer? In this video, Lindsay not only attempts to substantiate her claim that all children are queer, but that a child's innocence is actually just an adult construct. It's really quite creepy, and it gives me the pedo shivers.
Hey, Lindsay here. Today I want to talk about if all kids are queer. So we know that kids are strange and kind of weird, but I think that all kids are actually just real queer. And there's the third one, the child queered by Freud, or the not yet straight child. She uses Freud to talk about how children are all sexual and how there's basically like the ghostly straight child, because people kind of assume that children are asexual and they're not really allowed to be sexual, but Freud kind of turns that on its head and basically says, no, all children are sexual, and yeah, even if they're straight.
Now she's using Freud, I'm not kidding, to try and support this highly creepy, super disturbing notion that all children are sexual. You realize that 1, that's not even true, and 2, even if it were, that's again irrelevant. What could possibly come out of promoting a child's sexuality? Your invocation of Freud is creepy in and of itself. Freud was about almost everything, and he was a complete fraud. Psychiatry is arguably the least science-based of all the medical specialties, and Freudian psychoanalysis is arguably the least science-based psychotherapy. Even more so, in subsequent years, Freud's theories on everything from homosexuality to gender to human development have largely been discredited by psychologists.
And this is a scary warning for parents who let their children go on YouTube. Some seemingly innocent videos that they put on could be targeted by a so-called softcore pedophile ring.
But are there any other examples showing the apparent use of these pedophile codes? Well, you tell me.
Wow, something smells good! Yeah, let's go! Yum, 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 yum.
Okay, that looks like a spiral triangle. Typically a swirl like this would or should never raise red flags. But the fact that it's right next to a spiral triangle, and that they're both on a massive children's channel, I hope we can at least agree that if this is all a coincidence, then the creators should at least be informed on the similarities these symbols have with pedophile codes.